I have cleared audit, tax, SBL, SBR, and law through self study. And one thing that I'm really good at is making strategies. And in this video, we'll talk about how do I strategize my attempts, how do I plan my study, and how do I get through with a pass every time. So let's get to it. Number one is the orientation session. I make sure that before starting an exam, I watch the exact strategies that the toppers have followed or the people who have cleared the exams have followed so that I don't make mistakes and learn from their mistakes. So I watch those videos, two or three maybe. And then I watch an orientation session, which tells you how exactly to approach the exam, what to practice, what not to practice, the mistakes to avoid, and everything. They tell you the exact resources which you can refer to. And I refer to VFHE for the orientation session, which are held on YouTube for free. You can try others as well. Number two, I figure out the resources. Once I'm done with what all things that I need to keep in mind, what all mistakes that I need to avoid, I figure out where do I study from, because I'm a person who likes the visual method of learning. When somebody teaches me, I understand it better. So I try to figure out what teacher am I going to learn this from. So the best way was I contacted my previous teacher, CIC Edurave ma'am, and she had a lot of lectures online, and I watched it thoroughly. It was enough for me to crack the exam. The second thing is I just write the name of the exam, and whatever pops out as the full course, I refer to it. I see the demo lectures. If I'm good to go, I'll go with it. The third and the most convenient option that we all have is open tuition. Sometimes you'll feel that it's boring because they're only teaching what's necessary and no extra fluff. That is why it becomes boring sometimes, but it's the best, trust me, because they know the exam techniques as well. So these are the resources that I use, and this is how I find them, just on YouTube and open tuition. Number three is I make a day-wise plan to cover the whole resource. So let's say there are 30 videos that I need to watch to complete the syllabus. I allocate 1/3 of my time to solely completing my portion. So I make sure that I'm understanding the concepts easily and also leaving space for practice and mock test. Let's say I have 30 lectures and I just have 2 months, and in 2 months I'll have my attempt. 1/3 of the time means 20 days. I'll allocate the 30 chapters to the 20 days according to its weightage and the time that it will take me to complete those chapters. Once I've allocated those days, I make sure that I do have reserve days as well, so that whenever something comes, like a wedding, a festival, my birthday, or anything, I make sure that I do not have to change my timeline completely to accommodate it in my schedule. Now that I'm done with my day to day schedule and the timetable that I've made, I make sure that I follow it thoroughly and I do not try to skip anything or skip a chapter, because I know it will cost me an attempt if I do. After I'm done with my concept completion, I move on to revision. Most people will say this is weird, but I believe that doing repeat revision is better. So I do my Kaplan kit twice rather than switching to BPP or Study Hub, because you have to identify the pattern and practice applying your knowledge rather than increasing your knowledge. And Kaplan is more than enough. You don't need to switch resources again and again. During my revision, I make sure that I'm practicing past year questions as well. So I don't just practice for the sake of it. I practice for the exam and like I'm giving exam at that point of time. I make sure that I'm practicing on my laptop because I know at the end of the day, I'm going to give the exam on my laptop. When do I start giving my mocks? So before 20 days of the exam, I make sure that I am going to give mocks every third day. I make sure that the other 2 days are dedicated to analysis and closing the gap that are in the mocks. Identify the gaps, whether it's knowledge gap, application gap, and I have a tracker which I do follow. Link is in the description box for the tracker if you want that as well. I track my mistakes, I try to improve them, and then I see in the other mock whether the mistakes have been improved or not. That is my main focus, improvisation. Before the final exam, I try to repeat a mock which I've already given and see where I've improved. If the last exam I score a 60 or 65, I try to see whether I've increased from there or I'm still lagging there. And most of the times I do get an increased score, which is a good signal and which increases my confidence for the exam day. Exam day, I don't study at all because that is something that I have in myself, that on the exam day, I don't feel like studying. I don't even revise a lot. The night before, I revise in the sleep, and in my dreams, I just get the revision back. This is how I plan my whole attempt, and I'm able to pass each one of them because I make sure that my strategy doesn't lag and I make sure to execute this strategy. Making such a strategy is very easy, but executing it is more difficult than you think. So make sure that your discipline is in place, your motivation is stabilized, and you are not dependent on external motivation. You are internally motivated because you know what all these things will bring you. So yeah, this is it for this video, and I hope you understood and learned something from it. If you want personal guidance from me, the link is in the description box. You can always reach out to me on WhatsApp as well. And I hope You will self study the next attempt, and the results will be there in the comment section. See you there. Toodles.